范冰冰健康美丽课堂，每天动一动，每天大声笑，每天睡个饱。还有天窝蜂蜜柚子茶，蜂蜜带来健康，柚子带来美丽，健康美丽喝洒哟。天窝蜂蜜柚子茶。
好的，观众，欢迎回到现场，看一下刚才的那场比赛，老干爹和 IG 的较量，最终老干爹是获得了比赛的胜利。对，
成功把比分扳回了1-1平。
对，这样的话也是获得了至关重要的一分。
IG 又是被强行1比1，这样的话，他的联赛胜利还是稳定在1%。
哎，确实非常的稳定。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LPL English broadcast brought to you, I guess it's brought to you as well sometimes, by, of course, Esports Heaven and Games in Asia on PiraTechnics. We've been on quite a break, huh, Froskurinn? It's enough time to let the brain completely evaporate.
My brain evaporated watching that Doombot game. I don't know if you stuck around for that or if you were making coffee.
I was doing both. I was multitasking in a way. That was an interesting turn of events, and I'm sure the casters certainly enjoyed it. I know Wawa did. It's one in the middle for those of you who aren't entirely familiar with our Chinese counterparts.
Wawa is the one with the Bono sense of style. He's always wearing, typically sunglasses, actually, doesn't have them on this time around. And he's always got very, I think the only word is gaudy. A very gaudy wardrobe.
It's one of the very few times that word's appropriate, yes.
He's like a rock star.
He kind of is. It's all for the children.
Speaking of rock stars, when it pans over the crowd, we're playing a game as the casters. We give our shout-outs all the time to Games in Asia, Esports Heaven, obviously, for giving us the platform to cast. It's a lot of fun to be casting LPL and be casting with you guys, especially this audience, I think, is really high class as far as Twitch audiences go. Garvey, though, is a huge influence for everything that the stream has become, our Twitch contact through to Tencent, and he's actually in the audience today. So the game is, where's the giant white guy in the crowd?
Yeah, and I've been unable to locate him so far. We'll see if that does change as they pan over one more time.
I told him to bring a sign.
I did tell him, yeah, you did tell him that. Maybe he listened to you, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Hard to get through on the internet sometimes, a bit crowded. But hey, what we're really here for, of course, that's always fun stuff too, but we get to see World Elite Academy now taking on Edward Gaming, and they have not had the best time of late, splitting with StarHorn recently, which is probably one of the better results they've had in a while, but they are really struggling this split.
Yeah, last place team, effectively against the second place team. We are starting the lineup, so it is going to be the Korean top, Khan.
Also known as Hanbalong.
I was gonna say, I can never say his former name just because it's so ridiculous.
Or something. It's how I remember it mnemonically.
Baloney. In the jungle is going to be Soest, formerly known as Love A&G. He was there was a lot of hype. I know we say this every single time, but there was a lot of hype about World Elite Academy, that they were going to be the go-to team for LPL, that they're going to smash people. They were better than World Elite at a certain period. Soest was on that former roster. Big Lee Sin player. You didn't see Lee Sin in his last pickups. He's been kind of branching out mid lane. Mickey God, also from Korea, found a lot of success on those assassins. And it was funny, when they first brought over Mickey God, he's well known for his Lee Sin mid, and they're like, oh, he plays Lee Sin mid. We can put him in the jungle because that's exactly how that works. Did not work very well. They moved him over to the mid lane spot, kicked out their former mid laner, Xie. SMLZ, kind of the big name for World Elite Academy, the hand-picked protege by Wei Xiao. So this guy is the real deal. Unfortunately, has not found a lot of success, but this team in general hasn't. And then following it up on the support spot is going to be their brand new support captain and shot caller, Yushe. And by brand new, I mean this season, or excuse me, this split.
A lot of responsibility to be put on someone who's new too, and he has had to bear kind of the brunt of Academy's performance throughout a lot of it as well. And they're up against a very tough opponent right now in Edward Gaming. We'll get to see them in just a second. But these are guys that are poised to, if not take the top, certainly finish at least second place.
Oh, yes. They finished second last split. As far as second, like during the actual split itself, in the playoffs, they bumped up across to first. So they were first in the spring split of 2014, which means that they have already an invitation to the World Qualifiers. If they finish first again, they are automatically qualified for Worlds.
Of course, the paved road to Worlds has a few stumbling blocks along it. Young Glory took them out 2-0 the last time they met, so definitely on the up and up, that team, but Edward Gaming has had a couple of problems. This is a newer team, of course, but they have been really, really dominant, and of course, we will be getting into the lineup. That's FCZF. On support, he plays quite a lot of different things, did do the Zillion, as well as the Cow and Braum, and he has been certainly a pretty big up player on this team, pretty impactful player, but he's not the only one. Joining him in the bot lane is, of course, going to be Mei, who is... He's the guy that looked at Wei Xiao and said, yeah, I'm going to beat that dude.
He's the Dade to Wei Xiao's Faker.
Oh, we're going Korean on this one. No Korean players on this particular roster, though.
Yeah, it's something unique. Like in the mid lane, it's going to be little U. U stands for unstoppable. And I honestly, a lot of people say, you know, Name is the center of Edward Gaming. He's the big star player. And yes, Name is incredibly talented. He's ranked up there with Deft and Imp as far as, you know, best 80 carries in the world. He could stand toe-to-toe. But I honestly feel that U is the crutch and the spine for EDG and everything they do. You hear the crowd roar for Clear Love, formerly of World Elite. Their World Elite being the most popular team in China. Now works for EDG, but he will be the jungler, jungled under Messiah, so big name there. And in the top lane, they're going to finish up with Koro.
Koro is definitely a player that, next to some of his star-studded teammates, doesn't get as much press as he should. I think our very own Kelsey Moser talked quite a lot about this recently on the Player I'm Passionate About, which is a series done by On Gamers Thorin. And he has a really interesting champion pool. He has like the strongest Trundle in China, which is like a fun little statistic to go by. He's good in team fights as well, exerts a lot of map pressure, and we'll see if that comes in handy against World Elite Academy. Should do. See if he can hold his own. I think he probably will be able to, as will the rest of the team. They're heavy favorites in this one.
Big heavy hitters, but like you said, they did stumble across Young Glory, who have been on the up and up, so we'll see if World Elite Academy can find the same success, but frankly, they have not found really much of anything.
See if they find picks and bans, though. Here we go.
Yeah, straight out of picks and bans, you already see Ziggs Lulu taken off the table, directly targeted at you. You cannot give you Ziggs. He actually prefers to play assassins, but, you know, talking about kind of the crutch of which EDG stands on, it's really that Ziggs pickup. When they're firing all cylinders, they're an amazing team to watch. If there's a team that will eventually rise up to beat Korea, to overtake OMG, I believe that it is in the hands and the power of EDG. Are they there yet? No. They're like half-baked cookies.
You can't be losing 2-0 to Young Glory, that's for sure.
No, you cannot be losing 2-0 to Young Glory. Likewise, REZ being taken away from Mickey God.
Yeah, a lot of mid lane bans, and the last one's going to actually be a top lane. And that's pretty much targeted to Koro. He plays a pretty solid Jax, as do a lot of top laners in China, even if it's not necessarily his style. See what the last ban is. You know what's still on the table? Yasuo.
Gragas is still on the table.
That too, and Braum. There's a lot of big picks up for grabs. What does...
The issue with a Braum pickup here, it should be the Gragas, is that Morgana's the obvious answer to Braum, and last split, FZZ's most played champion was Morgana.
Oh, might see another Maokai lock in. They're debating it. Whoa, Cho'Gath. That'd be a throwback. By the way, for those of you not entirely sure about that splash art, that is what Cho'Gath looks like on the Chinese art.
Likewise, that is what Gragas looks like.
Yes, which is, his head is slightly more conical, and his hair is slightly more blonde. I'm not really sure why, but it is.
He's bleaching it out.
Okay. Spend a little time in the sun. It looks like they
I have to give one pointer to you, Pyra. I was watching the rebroadcast last night, and literally Rapid had the most packaged, oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my...
I cracked
And he didn't take it. I was so disappointed.
Oh, that one.
He,
okay.
He let in for it.
Yeah.
And he gave up halfway through. So if you see the opportunity, Pyro, I will not.
Well, I was going to, but now that you blew the lid off that one, I don't know if I can anymore. And EDG, they don't know if they want to take the Braum. They go for the Kog'Maw lock-in instead, preferring to give that one to Name. Surprised that they go for an AD carry lock-in so quickly. Very confident that they won't have to worry about any counterplay.
Red pick, we talked about this previously on the IG versus LGG game, how Red pick has a significant win advantage in China just because counter-picking is very important, although they completely disqualify everything I was talking about with that insta-lock on Orianna.
Yep.
But he gets the
going for
counter
that one.
pick of the top lane.
That's true. Now, they have a couple of options what they want to follow up with here. They already
Or
know
not.
that the bot lane is firmed up. Are they really playing around with this top lane Maokai? I mean,
Oh,
we've seen it. We've seen it as the counter to Gragas. I was thinking maybe Nidalee, but no, it's definitely going to be the Maokai lock-in for Koro. See how he does on the tree this time.
So we literally saw maybe 15 minutes of Maokai top before the IG-LGD game got remade. So this will be Maokai round 2. It was immediately banned by LGD after that brief run-in with it. See what Koro was able to do there. I think that fits his play style pretty much to a T. Koro is not known as a 1v1 Zion Spartan going PDD type of top laner. He started to transition that way in kind of his recent performance, which is really exciting to see a player evolve like that. But like you said previously, he's very much more about, you know, team fight control, creating AoE pressure, and Maokai is the perfect champion for him.
Mm-hmm. See, I think that this is a pretty standard, well, okay, I want to say standard maybe, but a pretty comfortable composition for both teams, just because they're going to be rocking champions that they've been in before. You likes Assassins, but his team generally in the past has wanted him to go more utility mage routes, and I think that's what happened. This time they've also got the Orianna ball combo. You look at it, there's a lot of ball delivery. When you look at Maokai, Rengar, and Leona, FCZF going on that.
The only thing I dislike about their composition is I feel Braum would actually be acceptable here since Uge decided to go that Thresh route. They don't really have any tools to keep Name safe. It's completely on him to position correctly, which is in his capabilities as being, you know, that top tier AD carry. But other than Orianna shield, that's pretty much it. Braum would have been able to peel back, whereas Leona's going to dive that backline. You think Maokai's diving, Rengar's diving, your support's diving.
It's true. Yeah, it's definitely a kind of all-in-your-face comp, and Braum would have been a particularly useful pick for that. But they decided to put FCZF on Leona too, which I think is not the worst thing in the world, even if it's against the Thresh. They're certainly not going to have the ability to go all-in on that particular Zenith Blade, but still. It shows the confidence, I think, of EDG going forward on this one. And World Elite Academy, likewise, they're on some pretty comfortable picks for themselves.
I really like their composition. I think Jarvan will always work incredibly well in China. Like, Jarvan will always be a priority pick just because the meta is so focused A, around diving, and B, around team fighting. And Jarvan will always be strong in those two instances. I don't know. I've always liked the synergy of Zed in these compositions. I feel like a lot of people will prefer to go Yasuo or Orianna in the case rather than Zed, just because he doesn't have the most favorable matchups all the time, and it's kind of this mentality of if I don't win lane, then I'm not going to be anything. But Zed's versatility and what he offers to a composition, the fact that he can either become a true split pusher, like Yasuo can split push, but Zed has more safety in it, just because obviously he has the shadow. Except there's totally a Yasuo in this game, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, the Zed banned away was probably big much in big.
Was that what it was?
It was
I'm
in part
sick.
due to that. Yeah. No,
Can you
don't worry about it.
tell I'm dehydrated?
Hey, transition, sick transitions going on. It's World Elite Academy taking on Edward Gaming. It's going to be best of two or two set, however you like to call it, as the teams come swinging out of the gates. Looks like nothing out of the ordinary here. Everyone looks to line up at the line of scrimmage. Name, FCZF confident in their ability to 2v2. And they might actually meet each other out here. Uge going a little far forward, might be getting a little frisky here. Onus is on World Elite Academy to make some big plays, I think.
Definitely. He is the captain, shot caller of their team. On the big playmaker like Thresh. A lot of World Elite Academy's issues spawned from the fact that they lost Ari. We're going to see him face check here.
And right into Leona. Uh-oh. Okay. Whip my chain around.
Just
Pretty
teaching
sure
them a
that's a
lesson.
song.
Whip my chain around.
I
thought it was-
Shh, don't tell anybody.
I thought it was whip my hair back and forth.
Well, you know,
That's what Thresh's dance
Thresh
should be.
could do that. I don't know. I like his dance. He's kind of he's like at a rave, you know, but without the lights. Speaking of dancing, doing the two-step, or is it the robot?
Name in the back though. He was
Yeah.
really kicking.
It's a real dance party on Summoners today.
Are they gonna lane swap?
Oh, yeah, they might. I think they were trying to see if they could mind game it out and say, we don't have to do anything. And then maybe the lane swap for us. But, yeah, given the fact that SMLZ is here, it's probably going to happen along with UJ. So we should see the lane swap going in. And I like this, too, out of World Elite Academy. I think it's less for the bot lane and more for Khan.
Yeah. I'm just very curious. Out of all of the AD carries that I would expect to force a 2v2 engagement, even if they're on considerably a quote-unquote weaker lane, I would expect Name, just because of kind of his arrogance as an AD carry. Same thing from Uzi. We see it countless time and time again.
Well, they picked it out, too, and they end up going to the top anyway, so makes sense, kind of. I think that Academy, again, has a lot of pressure on them to perform really well. The last time these two went head-to-head about a month ago, big 2-0 in favor of Edward Gaming, no huge surprises there. But Academy just has to grab wins wherever they can, and if they can pull off some upsets here, it would give them some serious confidence heading forward. Still be a pretty long shot at the playoffs, but, they can dream, right?
Well, the nice thing is that there's, I know that Young Glory has publicly stated, that there's no point in us scrimming. They've actually stopped scrimming when they came on their huge win streak and now are kind of boosted through the standings. They had resigned themselves to relegation and they were just kind of, YOLO. Let's just do solo queue. Let's just focus on streaming and let's just forget about a shot at the playoffs, which is now very possible for them.
Funny. So I'm curious. Stop caring.
If that same mentality is kind of with World Elite, you have to think they don't really have anything to lose here. They have the chance to experiment, the chance to make these really risky plays. They don't have to be conservative in anything that they do.
Yeah, they can definitely let loose on that one. I would love to see some really crazy dives in action. The lane swap was perhaps intended to give them a little bit of a leg up, but it was completely predicted out by Edward Gaming now. Where do the junglers make their mark, though? You already see Clearlove moving around for the counter jungle, and he's fairly good at that, but he definitely likes to make those aggressive plays. Where do you think he strikes first? This mid lane looks pretty juicy.
Well, I think he's aggressively trying to find Jarvan, in all honesty. Rengar's early burst damage, especially in the jungle, because he's going to get those bush procs, is pretty terrifying with double buff up there, and if SOAS doesn't have help, there's not really much Jarvan can do. He'll get that initial burst damage because of how his passive works on the first hit, but I'm going to clearly give that one to Rengar if Rengar gets the jump literally on him. So I think that's what Clearlove's doing. Is he's trying to be aggressive and he's not necessarily in there for the creeps. He's looking to see if he can find the jungler.
Yep. So far, everything else is pretty normal. SMLZ is actually doing a pretty good job of trying to zone Name away. Difficult task in and of itself. Mickey dueling it out with Unstoppable in the mid side, and dangerously close, though, is Clearlove. He could make a move. Also, Soist is around the side. Might want to focus on dive here, but I think they're just going to be content with counter jungling for a little bit, as they just keep narrowly missing each other. Oh, here comes Clearlove, though. He
was pinged out, though.
Yeah.
And you have to think the difficulty of ganking Yasuo, especially on such a long lane.
Yeah, with the dash. Also, he's almost got 6. Time window is running really short. Ball gets stopped. Yeah, I feel like this game has become pretty safe for both people, and you've got to wonder why World Elite Academy isn't taking those risks, since they don't have as much to lose. Now, UJ able to stop the Zenith Blade. That is why. Thresh is a good pick, of course, against FCZF's Leona.
This is also very much the MO of EDG. We talk about how they prioritize anti-siege. Their game times tend to run a little bit longer, especially the first set around. The other issue is that Clearlove is not known as a gank jungler. You have to think, I think I've said this before, he learned with Messiah, and Messiah was the big Twisted Fate player, so you have to understand that when this guy is jungling in his career, he's learning with a player who pretty much took care of all of the map pressure, so it was never really up to him to gank heavily. It started to change a little bit, but Rengar really fits his style as far as, farm the jungle, get that flare, wait until level 6, and then gank, as opposed to someone like Lee Sin, like Jarvan. Although, he is looking top now.
Yeah, but so is Soist. This could turn into a pretty bloody 3v3. UJ going to be the first target of aggression. Heal going to be popped, but it's not nearly enough. Name will get himself a first blood. Exhaust goes down on his Soist. And that is going to be enough action for the time being. World Elite Academy decides to back away they don't have anything else. It was nice targeting out UJ since he was already being focused by FCZF. Good good timing on the part of EDG.
Very explosive damage, but now in the mid lane.
Yeah, Mickey gonna get the last breath. Can he get out of there? He's staying alive with the shield. Flashes burn, as well as an ignite going down. Mickey commits hard to it, and he gets the kill, but he trades his life to the tower. Soist unable to really make anything happen. He'll just clear away the pink ward. So again, 1 for 1 this time. Mickey will not pass up an aggression opportunity, it seems.
Yeah, overcommitted right there. You are correct. So a mechanical misstep, and he doesn't necessarily gain very much from trading 1 for 1. Typically, when you trade 1 for 1, you want to do it on a dive with the wave behind you, simply because you're not only trading the kill gold and the experience, but you're forcing your opponent to miss out on all of those creeps. But if you see, the creeps are completely centered in that lane, so that was literally just a straight, here, you have 300 gold, I'll take 300 gold, we'll shake hands like gentlemen, I'll see you in 2 minutes.
It was less of a dive and more of I'm going to chase you all the way back to your tower. And as a result, yeah, it just, the tower shots are a little bit too strong at the level.
You didn't even use shockwave, so...
Yeah, he kind of kept that in his back pocket. Interestingly, too, he's got the tier built up already, too. So you can see that he wants to get his early ability spam on. Oh, Mickey going in for round 2, but he's taking a lot more damage than he can dish out. Soist around the side, but Clear Love is en route as well. Ball's going to land. Mickey does not have his ult available just yet. Slowly coming back off cooldown. That's a really low cooldown timer, even at 6. Whoop. Oh, there it goes. And that's going to be, with the help of Soist, a lock-up kill. Clear Love coming around the side. Mickey might go down, and he does. Clear Love answering right on back, and now the junglers are dueling in the mid. Teleport coming in from Khan. Gets canceled out as he backs away. And that was a nice answer from EDG, really. Clear Love knew where he needed to be and capitalized on Mickey's aggression once again.
Nice thing, though, for World Elite Academy is that the gold stayed into the mid lane as far as that last kill is concerned. That's now a 2-2 Yasuo, whereas Orianna just got the assist there. Obviously, it's nice to have Rengar start to get a bit of a snowball up, especially as he goes for this Lizard Elder. We'll see if this is a tank Rengar like what we see in the LCS, or if this is going to go more of an assassination damage style Rengar.
Some might call it the Ryan Choi. Well, I guess he has to be in the top lane for that.
I would love to see an assassination style Rengar. I don't necessarily think that they need an extra tank, especially with Maokai, Leona.
That's true. If you build, and he's going the tanky route too, you might as well get a little bit extra damage out of there. However, at the same time, you want him to have enough sustain so they can pull off that submarine combo. I mean, Clear Love knows his stealth junglers. This is his total calling card. He loves to do
big Evelyn
big plays.
yeah.
Yeah, huge. Not pretty common for China, actually. And, you know, we were starting to see Evelyn more and more, like as in that other game.
Well, again,
as we were
if you think about like everything about Clear Love, the fact that he's not known as a big ganker, so he picks a stealth jungler who just gets, you know, automatic map pressure without having really to do anything.
Perfect. It's like the best
exactly.
of both worlds. Well, pink ward cleared out. UJ trying to get a catch. He gets it on FCZF. SMLZ will go around the side, continue to try and poke up. Oh, and he tries to get a little bit of help from Soist, who is a little more preoccupied in the golems for the time being. You never know when there's a lantern thrown back, if there's actually someone there, or it's just a total psych-out maneuver.
It only takes one correct lantern, though, to scar you for life.
Yeah, just like old Nidalee Spears. Oh, God, I still have nightmares.
It's also like Death Sentence and Blitzcrank hooks. You only have to hit one.
Blitz hooks, not even once.
But we do see Clear Love hanging around that bot lane. Does have his ultimate available to him, as well as the Leona Solar Flare.
Yep, Name trying to bait things out, just standing in the middle here and freezing the wave, and that's going to be Clear Love getting the jump on. Lantern going to go, but he's not going to be able to take it. He's got an appointment with Fountain as they knock him up and take him down. Name getting himself another kill in this game. EDG doing what they need to do to move forward, and Koro maintaining throughout this lane, despite how Khan has been able to put a lot more hurt on him.
The importance of, I want to talk, obviously the importance of taking out that bot lane, they immediately transition to a dragon. Correct call, absolutely right there.
Immediate response. It was incredibly well executed by Edward Gaming.
We do see the counter maneuver from Soas in the top lane, perhaps setting up to trade a global objective of the top tower for the dragon in response, so they have recognition that this is happening.
Whoa,
but the mechanical setup of that last team fight normally people would lead with the solar flare and then have Rengar run and jump in, obviously because it's your longest range ability for starting that team fight. But the brilliance of having Rengar come in first and getting that initial burst damage and then locking up Kog'Maw after the, or excuse me, Tristana after the burst had gone through to make sure that there was no chance of a lantern throw and a lantern slave, I think was brilliant.
Yeah.
And this just really goes back to the tiny little facets of Chinese team fighting and how they understand how abilities are supposed to go down and how everything's going to be stacked for the maximum results.
Yeah, that's one of the pretty big reasons, I think, to pick up on the Leona, just because they know that, you know, you get a little complacent sometimes when you're rocking a Thresh. Oh, I can always get a lantern save off. Well, what if you can't click the lantern before you fall down and go boom?
What if we just chain CC you?
Yeah, what if we just feed the cog? It's a simple strategy. It works pretty well. And he's sitting on 2 pieces of Triforce right now. And actually, to SMLZ's credit, he has been able to keep up pretty well in farm. He's, you know, Tristana has typically a bad early game, right? So does Kog'Maw, but 9 farm down is not terrible. The 2 kills are really what's doing him in.
You will start to see, though, how the power transitions as far as their item builds. Excuse me, sorry, sick. The Trinity Force versus the Ayad Rush. Obviously, Cog's going to get more of a mid-game power spike. We'll see if Name is able to punish that, especially since he already has kind of an early lead. Whereas Tristana is still going to scale fantastically well into late game, and that more of like a 30-minute power spike when she starts getting her core of that Eye-Edge, Last Whisper, Shiv, or Phantom Dancer.
Just starting to poke it out just a little bit. SMLZ, half his health bar's gone. And Yujie, as much as he's trying to tank the front line, just doesn't have much to do. He's not really getting given an opportunity to get a hook on. Name's positioning behind the creeps is incredibly well done this game. And the junglers have been shifting their attention so far up to the top that it's kind of stalled out a little bit in that bot side for World Elite Academy. They have got to get something going here. They've given up map control without really any towers falling down. It's kind of strange.
Do you see a lot of jungler activity going up here, obviously, because the dragon isn't up for play.
Yeah, there's the Maelstrom. Khan is getting caught out, and there's Rango out the bushes. That's going to be Soas getting involved as well. Cataclysm, and everybody is getting blown out of the water, out of the lane, rather. Clearlove running for his life, and he'll go down. They couldn't follow up with enough damage, and Koro now running for his life as well as Khan and Soas combined for a big play in the top side. Clearlove with a miss. Swing and a miss.
Oh, but here comes Mickey.
Yeah, they want this tree really badly. Koro, run, run, run as fast as you can. I guess they can catch him after all. That's going to be an ignite and a tick down. Mickey takes himself a roam kill while Name gets a little too far forward on the bot side. They really want this top lane trade. It almost seems like we're going a little bit back to the, not the 4v0, but the 3v1, 4v1, whatever you want to call it. Whoa, Name dodging out, and he picks up Yujie. How about that for fancy footwork? Who says Kog'Maw isn't mobile? And now you're going to have Unstoppable, too. Getting knocked back with a buster shot, SMLZ. He's got no rocket jump, or does he? No, he doesn't. And that's going to be him going down. Another dedicated dive down to the bot side this time. And they answer right back. EDG, everything you can do. We can do better. And they managed to take themselves a kill and a tower in all of this to start off the push game. 15 minutes in, first tower falls. I wouldn't have guessed it'd be that long.
You hit the nail on the head with everything you do, we can do better, because they did get the tower, although Mickey trying to respond with a mid-tower push going for him.
And he might get that, too. Yu is not able to get there in time, although Clearlove is certainly trying. Winwall's going to block the ball. Nice play by that. Oh, Soist did find Name. FCZ upstairs. They're pretty low. Teleport coming in. Cataclysm to keep him locked up, but he flashes away. One more hit's going to do it. Soist goes down. Khan, one more second. Oh, he tries to kite it out, but he can't do it. Buff transfer complete as Koro comes in for the teleport and lantern save. Means Khan will give out and live to fight another day. Teleport's coming down all over. Yeah, Clearlove going around the side here. He really wants his Yasuo, misses his jump, but he's still in the picture. Yu and Mickey are also there. This is going to be pretty crazy. Can Mickey get out of it? Clearlove trying to stay around the side. Khan, they bought enough time for him to get there. Body slam coming in. Clearlove's going down. That is a wombo combo. The ball comes in. It's not enough to get anyone, or is it? Mickey goes down. Maelstrom now. Koro in the picture. Can't Khan get away? They want those double buffs. Are they willing to die for him? I don't think so.
Huge team fights all across the map. Effectively, each team responding to each other, just being very reactive in everything they're doing. This is a huge strength of the Chinese meta. Because team fighting is such a massive part of it, they are so good at disengage, re-engage, recognizing where the pressure needs to be on the map as far as, you know, if 3 resources are down bottom, we can go and we can tower dive this completely uncontested in the top lane. Big thing that I wanted to talk about, though, Khan with his teleport gank on Name. Name's fancy footwork to get locked into the Jarvan ult and to kite that out with his life. He had about 25% health, and he was able to take SOS all the way down. You actually saw Name stepped forward into Khan. It's because he figured that Khan was going to throw the cask, and he was trying to dodge it. If Khan had actually thrown that cask, he would have completely missed Name. So fantastic prediction from Khan to recognize that Nami would try to dodge that. But it's just kind of like that next level of thinking between this AD carry to physically see that thought process of, okay, this is how I need to position, this is what I'm going to do. The fact that Name will sidestep the death sentence but then also land his R to trade the kill on Yushe. The fact that he can kite out the Jarvan with 25% HP. The fact that he's thinking...
Wait. EDG getting a little sneaky there. They were trying to set up a death brush, and then, yeah, no one's biting on that one. Yeah, there's a little Fnatic in. Oh, Koro! What is going on that top side? Dragon's falling meanwhile, and they do pick it up, but Koro barely stays alive. Khan has got really a big mark on him. He's trying to take him down. He should be able to get this tower, but that's a worthwhile trade for EDG. And you're right, the turnarounds and the guessing, the micro is incredible from these two teams, and in general in China, it's just at that level that they're able to kite it out. And, you know, you can mispredict sometimes, and that's fine, but that's only one death on Name, and he gave it over to Gragas. Khan might be great now, but he will fall off a little bit later on anyways, and they really got to worry more about Mickey, who, by the way, is trying to get a little bit of 1v1 going right now. So, oh my goodness, he's going down though. And you staying alive with the Zani's Hourglass. Not for long. Clearlove trying to finish up SOS, but he's getting triple team. That is a buster shot back. Clearlove's got nowhere to go. Got no damage to do. And there's another pick up on SMLZ. Oh, FCZF looking to make a play. Misses away from SOS on the Zenith played Name in the picture. Can he kite it out? Can he get enough damage? Not quite enough, but they are not wanting to go back in on that as everyone moves their attention to the mid lane as there is a tower still to take.
Good game from SOS right there. I feel he's been really on point with his Jarvan. 2-1-4, so 6 out of the 8 kills has been a huge pressure for his team. Finally, though, that top tower goes down. I feel like we've seen Mickey and SOS and Khan and everyone and their mothers up in that top lane for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's only 18 minutes on the clock.
There were so many dives going on. I mean,
So
this is
much
the kind of action we expect from an LPL game. It gets just completely nuts when everyone decides to just start chasing one another throughout. Sapling going to have a nice little time moving its way over to Khan, not connecting on anything, but they still want to fight it out. Koro is not in shape. How long have those double buffs been sitting on Khan? They've got to be expiring any time now. That's crazy.
It could be a visual glitch. I do know that sometimes the buffs glitch out. However, those double buffs, like you said, have been traded back and forth consistently.
Well, the buck seems to stop at Khan, even if it is a visual glitch. It's sticking around for a little while. There's a lot of fun ones, actually. I know the Spectator client sometimes has one where super minions are caster minions, or rather, caster minions are super minions, so you have like 8 of them.
Oh, Mickey getting locked up.
Oh boy, they're going all in. Forget the tower, guys. We get ourselves some kills. Mickey going down. Lantern throws out when he's already gone as they take themselves another one. EDG muscling through, no minions required.
Smart move from them. Obviously, Dragon not on the map. Mid tower, most important objective. See if they can possibly look for 2 here.
Yeah, I think they will be able to do that, although they have to be careful because SOS is around the side. Koro goes in. Oh my goodness, SMLZ's low, and Yushe sacrificing for all of that. Toas goes in with the Cataclysm, only manages to lock one up. Ball's not going to connect with anybody. You miscalculated on that play, but they are still up by 2 kills. Toas going for Name. He won't be able to do it. Falling down to Unstoppable, and World Elite Academy can barely make a play, only knocking down Koro 1, and they trade 3 of their members and a tower. In all said and done, EDG once again on the upswing of the gold.
See if they can translate this into anything. EDG could possibly look for a Baron now. They need to take care of their waves, however, get that bot wave and top wave shoved all the way out. Preferably to take down that first tier top tower. It was crucial that they got the second tier mid tower as far as their map pressure and map control. See if they can now kind of extend this gold lead into preparing the correct vision to push it further and harder.
Yeah, and here we're going to see the replay here. Koro and everybody decides to keep going forward. SOS gets zoned for just a moment, and then you see Koro going all the way in to make the play. Clearlove comes around the side.
Evaporated.
Yeah, that was the noble sacrifice. big cast is going to land, and unfortunately nobody was really in the area of the shockwave, but they still managed to make it completely worth. FCZF body blocking all of Khan's damage as Soest goes in and just cannot get the damage out. So EDG, they're just being thrown kills one by one very slowly, and everybody's starting to get big. Unstoppable's Orianna starting to get pretty scary as well.
And he's effectively all that Name really has as far as true protection in this composition. This is not a protect the Kog'Maw composition. This is let's pray that Name knows what he's doing composition. 4, 1, and 3 right now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty solid altogether. Power Spike's getting pretty big. And, well, Khan, he's the next target of aggression. I'm pretty sure those double buffs are a visual glitch, but they're going down nonetheless. That's going to be a pickup. Actually goes over to FCZF. They commit 4 people for that one. Okay, that's when you start typing in all chat. Oh, my God, 4 to kill me?
This is so worth. This is actually incredibly Korean, and the mentality is to gank the teleport. Because if you kill the teleport, you can effectively do whatever you want on the map without fear of map repercussions or map pressure being applied to you.
No tele-flanks allowed, and they do. Yeah, I think they should be able to take themselves down a tower here pretty easily.
Although, I think they're...
Uh-oh, guys, we gotta
have to
run.
wait.
Okay, bye-bye. There's the disengage you're talking about.
I was expecting them to go Baron, in all honesty. It would be a true 50-50 Baron, but...
Yeah, well, it's a little bit better when you don't have
proud,
Khan up.
but at the same time...
They're learning. Oh, what World Elite Academy might, though. They are okay, just gonna get the ward down. I thought they were thinking about it, but that is a lot of pinks being expended there, clearing the vision out as they go. And that was actually a really nice move by Academy.
Well, think about all that early gold they had accumulated. That's all on the map in form of the wards right now. And when we talk about China, we talk about consistently the quality or the type of quantity versus quality of wards. There are all 5 pink wards on the map currently. 4 out of those 5 have the exact same vision as far as the information it's gathering next to that Baron pit. The other one was just cleared out. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's still there. It could be about to be cleared out as the dragon goes down in that, that blue brush. There it goes.
Yeah, so the Ward Wars are pretty much going to commence as long as this game goes on, because these two teams are not going to want to give up any big objectives. Dragon was surrendered pretty easily there, and I think Academy just isn't confident taking a straight 5v5. Whoa, knocked right into the Baron pit. Hello. I don't really want to be here right now, says FCZF, but he's not going to hold that choice. Will throw down a ward, and then he's going to wait and actually go back in. Didn't even expend his flash. It just decided to sacrifice instead. Actually, no, he didn't have flash. Excuse me. This is going to be a Baron attempt now for World Elite Academy, or is it? No, they're just going to clear out the ward. I keep thinking they're going to go for it. They've got me tricked every time, Frost.
They are going for the Cataclysm, though.
Uh-oh, there we go. Name. And Soest is going to knock himself out of it, or flash out of it, rather. Koro in the midst of all this. Big ball's going to land. That's a lot of damage. However, it's going to be Koro 1 going down. This is now a 3v4 officially. Mickey needs to be targeted out. Yu is going to get his Zanya's on, and they take down Khan around the side. Mickey staying alive just barely, and Yu goes down. A good trade for Academy so far. It ends up being a 2-for-2. Even trades are okay when you're this far behind. SMLZ, well, I hope they're okay when this too far behind, but it looked like it was going to be more. I guess I got FCZ up before the fight started, so that counts.
It's really all about Name's position. The fact that that was a, I mean, technically kind of a 4v5, and they were able to trade it even. The fact that Kog'Maw is being left untouched. Yes, SMLZ is kind of in the back left of the touch as well, but he has so many more tools on his kit to secure his safety. You talk about Buster Shot, you talk about Rocket Jump, things like that.
Self-peel, a ton of it.
Exactly, the displacement from Gragas, the Cataclysm, which fantastic Cataclysm from Soest.
Oh, yeah, let's see that again in an instant replay. Boom, he goes in. Name clear love, and oh my god, they all have to flash out, and you are pretty much all sitting inside that, just not able to do anything. But then the ball comes in. This changes the fight just a little bit, I would think, although Koro goes down, and Mickey only gets, that's the big problem. Mickey gets the one last breath onto Name, and he just doesn't have the damage. He stays alive, sure, but then Khan goes down because they can't finish up. Yu nearly takes out Mickey, and Yujie nearly goes down. I mean, that...
Look at Clear Love. He was like the stiff arm in front of Name, too. That was pretty funny. Peel Rengar. It's a thing.
Yeah, why not, right? It's sort of like how Kha'Zix used to be, right? Remember the way Insect used to run him on the KT Bullets, where he just sort of... he would be like a pseudo-tank, pseudo-assassin? and he would
Yeah,
like
but
get
he
in
would
your
still
face.
lead in.
Exactly.
This Rengar is like it's made better because of Rengar's like stance, how his arms are like so far out because he's got such broad shoulders. He's like standing there like a football player, like he's pacing back and forth. Like, which way are you gonna go? You're gonna go to my right or the left?
I would not want to be in a huddle with Rengar. I feel like he'd tear my face off or something.
Yeah, he'd probably.
Yeah, that would be scary.
I can't go there.
I've seen that cinematic. That's pretty scary. All right. Speaking of Rengar, he's got a pretty tanky build right now. The Spirit Visage trying to stop the magic damage of all this. I mean, I would look more for a bit of armor against Yasuo, but hey, he's the pro. Oh wow, this Baron attempt. What? What? Oh, what are you? Edward Gaming is going for the sneaky Baron play. And Khan has a teleport available, but nobody on World Elite Academy knows this is happening. This is a very, very confident move, and they just pick it up for free.
The flash.
Trade one tower. Oh my goodness, that's the engagement. Edward Gaming going all the way in as they get the two-man solar flare. FCZF falling back, hooked up by UJ. Clearlove not able to get out in time. Buster Shot gonna knock people back, but it's not enough. 2 kills already, and they're looking to march down the middle. Already that bottom split push has been abandoned. They don't have enough left in the tank. World Elite Academy is struggling right now to try and keep everyone off their backs. And free Baron, free tower, free 2 kills. Edward Gaming right back into this.
2 huge misplays. Obviously, not having the Baron warded. They pinged it out, so World Elite Academy had an idea it was going down, committed to the split push. The other big issue was, as soon as the Baron was done for, the teleport from Khan was actually expended to no use, which, if you're against a Baron, the only game that you can then play is either the turtle game or the map pressure game, where you ward out, you shove lanes, and you move underneath your wards, and you force the team with Baron to respond to the pressure points that you create on the map without ever, consolidating their strength down 1 point. Without that teleport, that pretty much becomes impossible.
Yeah, and it seemed like Academy did such a great job warding earlier, but as soon as the wards ran out, they just kind of forgot about Baron.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I don't know what the miscommunication was there with Calm, why he was bottom. Again, we talk about how reactive this game has been. And it's always like EDG kind of 1 step ahead of World Elite Academy and kind of detailing out what's going to happen. Like the fact that, oh, he's pushing bottom, what are our responses? Team fight and force a 4v5, try to get the jump on the teleport. Or B, rush a Baron and try to catch them out of position. Obviously, they went for the Baron, they got it, but just that that mental process and thinking, like, this is the step that we see, and this is the step we're going to take.
Edward Gaming firmly in control of the game. They don't have the biggest of leads in terms of gold, but they really have been showing a lot more pressure on their side. I think Academy has been getting a lot more of their kills through the pick game, and it just isn't working out now that EDG has a significant leg up on them in the item advantage. As long as they can shut down Mickey and SMLZ, they shouldn't have too much trouble closing this game out, but there is always that persistent threat. Now they're roaming together pretty well. Koro has his teleport available. Khan does not if they decide to take a big fight. And also, SMLZ is not in the picture right now. They don't know that, so they're looking to set up a pick, but they might get a little impatient, go all the way in.
Are setting up for this tower. World Elite Academy have to be very careful. They can't really afford to die for this tower. It won't mean game over for them, but it certainly would break that inhibitor line, which is often where a lot of teams struggle with Baron.
See if EDG can make it happen. There's not many minions left to tank that one up. I think EDG gets cold feet, decides to back away from that, instead trying to maybe set up picks and just control the jungle. Clearlove and you clearing out the blue buff, and they will reconvene over at this mid side. Whoa, this is getting a little close for comfort down in the bot. Barrel gonna get rolled out. Pick up the wolves. Koro says, all right, fine. That's the way you want to play it. I'll just take this farm.
Round 2 of the tower siege, though. See if EDG can make something stick here.
That was a pretty good clear. This is why they nerfed the Gragas barrels on minions. Hasn't come through on this particular patch just yet. Remember, we still are on 411 over in the LPL, and they once again go back to mid. It seems like one thing gets covered, they just go for another, and Academy is just sort of playing whack-a-mole with this continued aggression from EDG pushing up the siege. See if they can stall it out for a little bit longer in the Baron buff. But they are losing a bit of a grip on this top tower. Half health already. They don't have the clear just there, and that's going to go down. So Name and EDG will manage to pick that one up, and as you mentioned, inhibitor line's pretty much broken in 2 lanes.
They still have yet to crack it, though, as far as getting that inhib tower and opening up an inhibitor. Baron is done for, so didn't get as much as they would have wanted that time around, although, I mean, it's not an early Baron as far as China is concerned, but, you know, it's a decent early Baron. EDG kind of has a reputation of they stall out with the anti-siege between Ziggs, typically, in this case, Orianna. Wait until late game, you know, when it's 45, 50 minutes, and it really comes down to one team fight. They have far superior team fight ability. Hold on a second, because Clearlove looking for something.
Oh, wow, they're contesting all over that red, and that's going to be Soas going not too low as he manages to get out in time, but Clearlove's not done with him just yet. He jumps in, gets hooked back in, and now the engagement will begin again. There's Maokai going in. He's not got a ball on him, however. He will pop his Maelstrom as they once again look for the chase. Mickey, oh goodness, he's going down. Or is he? Blade of the Rune King saving his life. Name trying to make something happen. Mickey still stalls out. And yes, he is so fine, and I think he blew their minds. Are you happy now? I said it.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
It's karaoke night on the stream.
Do you feel better?
Just a little bit. I hope you do. I know you're having a little bit of a rough time with sickness there. Plenty of
I'm
fluids.
literally just sitting
Are you,
in
like hooked up to an IV.
fever sweats.
Oh,
It's
man,
awful.
that is very attractive.
Yeah, I try really hard. Don't you know?
Yes.
I prim and prep before I cast with you, Pyra.
Oh, well, I feel special now.
Well, you should.
Thank you. You know what else should feel
What?
pretty special? That Mickey, that great escape right there. That was a very close thing, and he's probably sitting in a pool of sweat as well. So he just barely got out alive.
Speaking of barely getting out alive, Baron, up in 1 minute, going to be the next big point of contention. World Elite Academy cannot afford to give a second Baron away. It will surely spell their end. That said, if they have any chance of coming back in this game, it is going to be on this assault. So, Spartan stand, here we go.
Yep. Let's see if they can make it count this time. Everybody in EDG already in position. See if the fight begins without Baron at home just yet. 30 seconds still on the clock before that particular buff comes up and the Ward Wars continue. However, this time EDG staying as close together as they possibly can. If they can get a pick here, this could mean a big difference. And whoa, there's a death brush. I think they're going to be seen out pretty quickly, though, and there's a lot of poke available from Academy.
It's very dangerous to fight in these small condensed corridors, pretty much for either team. So it's very much about who gets the first jump. You think there's a lot of AoE wombo combo from either side.
Yeah, and they're really looking to make it count here. If they can get a pick on one of the carries, it should be a pretty big play. But everyone is playing it very, very safely. Academy knows that this is going to be the end of the game for them if they don't get either the Baron or a significant number of picks after the fact. So they're trying to play it out safe so they have a good chance of contesting it. But EDG waiting in the bushes, Academy trying to halfway go up. They're getting a little separate here. Khan's going to get the face check on, and that's going to be the ball landing, forcing the flash away. He stays alive for the time being. A lot of damage being dealt, but there's Unstoppable. He might be stoppable in this one. Very, very low in all this. I can't believe no one's died yet, Froskurinn, as I say it. UJ going down. You coming up big. They're answering back. So is just down as well. Staying together, picking him off. That's going to be
How
Mickey
is he
falling down.
alive?
This is insane. I don't know, Frosk. They nearly get the clean ace and rush straight down for Baron. SMLZ's alive. Khan is barely alive. They didn't need to focus that carry because they managed to take out Mickey. So it's not around. No smite steal available. If anything gets attempted here, it's going to be pure desperation. I don't even know if SMLZ wants to try and get in the picture. He maybe can pick you. It's going to be a close thing, and they're not even going to go for it. That is Baron once again going over to Edward Gaming, and they take a clear lead going into the late game.
I'm sure there will be a replay of this fight. Big important thing, the shockwave completely whiffs. It doesn't hit a single person, but an amazing cast from Khan pretty much decimates you. The most perfectly timed hourglass keeps this guy alive. I talk over and over about how Yu is kind of the secret threat. Like, everyone pays attention to Name. Obviously, his positioning at Teamfight was spot on. He's such an amazing AD carry player. But Yu is the spirit and soul of EDG. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how he stayed alive either. That was really
That
strange.
hourglass.
Yeah, well, that was incredible. I completely agree. But then he walks away, and Mickey just looks at him longingly and turns around. That was
farewell.
Yeah.
It was nice because SMLZ kind of boosted him out. Like a little tap on the butt with his buster shot. Like, it's okay, bro.
Yeah.
Popped him right out of there.
Yeah, and then goodbye. So far, that Zani's hourglass definitely coming up.
I feel like
with
we've
a
only
huge-
seen one good shockwave this entire game.
He hasn't even needed it. It's almost been like a zoning
that's the
tool
thing,
this
that's
game.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it forced Gragas Flash. It forced Khan to burn that particular summoner. It would have only landed on him because they spent so much to start the fight. You could tell Edward Gaming wanted to force that, and no matter what, they came out ahead regardless of any missed skill shots that they got. Now they have a complete run of the jungle. They've got the Baron buff. They can start moving on the last outer turret, and there's really nothing Academy can do to try and stop this. Yeah, they've got anti-siege on their side, but it doesn't matter when you just get all in like that.
Such a good last breath from Mickey as well.
Mm-hmm. Should have gotten a kill, but yeah, Hourglass OP, I guess.
Mickey's had a really good performance, really stepped up in that mid lane. I feel like, honestly, SMLZ has failed to really make anything happen for his team despite kind of his reputation of Weisha's protege.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we've seen this time and time again that Academy's struggled to really live up to the reputation that's been set for them. A lot of people talk about the LSPL being the actual stronger of the two leagues just because there are more teams, more strategies you have to adapt to. And Academy playing that way was sort of supposed to attest to that, and it just hasn't worked out. Young Glory has managed to make themselves, the other team coming up from relegation has managed to make themselves pretty well known, but Academy just hasn't had the same performance, and now they're struggling against Edward Gaming, who is a top 2 team. They're doing incredibly well and living up to that. However, despite the setbacks they had against Young Glory the other week, it seems to not have phased them, and Academy is just another roadblock to go over.
I think you're correct. And as this inhibitor line is starting to get broken from EDG, this will surely spell the end of World Elite Academy. This is effectively EDG games to lose. The gold lead starting to get sizably out of hand, of course.
They're ceding more and more ground. That's going to be inhibitor number 1, following a really no contest available as they just take pot shots on the out-and-out. EDG says, all right, we got what we wanted. Do we want to get a little bit more? Maybe not. Don't get greedy, boys. There's no need for it. But they have waves pushing just about everywhere. Now they can do this 4-1, demand attention. And if everyone from Academy groups up like this, it could be prime time for a big shockwave and end. See if they can pull it off, but they don't even need to. They've got crazy poke right now, and Name has so much escapability and peel.
Been very self-sufficient, very well positioned for that. Obviously only 8, 1, and 6. Doesn't... Oh, okay, now he has his Banshee Bell. I was going to say, hasn't had a defensive item for a very long time. Really hasn't had, you know, like a Braum or a Magana.
8 and 1. I mean, this is a guy who really loves making the big plays, and he hasn't played badly at all in this COG. He has made him look so easy. Like, it's incredible watching him play. It really, really is big. And whoop, Shockwave is going to land on a UJ. They just try to use it to pick kills now. So that particular ult is down for the time being, but that does give them the leeway to push on into the second inhibitor. And they are continuing to go for it. Superior poke is helping them along the way. Baron buff now down. However, Dragon is up if they want to go back for that one. They don't really need it, though, at this point, pushing towards the inhibitor. Soist and SMLZ looking to make a counterplay. Koro coming in for the party. It's going to be Soist going in for the all-in. They catch FCZF. That might not be the one they wanted to, though. Clear Love coming out of stealth. Koro gets his Maelstrom on, and Mickey caught in the middle of all that. No one's going down. This is just a bruiser fest, and Khan finally falls. Koro going for Soist. They're still going all in on this one. Last breath's going to come in. Not enough damage to finish anyone off, except for Koro finally falling down, but they trade 3 of their members for it. Yuji trying to get out of there, burns his flash. They're going for the end. This could be it. This is 40 minutes in, and this is looking like game number 1 going to EDG.
And again, Name's positioning in that team fight, the fact that he stood over to the side, effectively becoming a little Gatling gun. I think he had a couple of Blue Suede Shoot side steps as Khan actually flashed the wall and he dodged one of the barrels before dismantling him. That late game Kog'Maw just shredding through that Gragas tankiness. But huge performance from Name, showing exactly why you cannot give an AD carry of his caliber one of those champions.
No, not at all, and they'll have to take a good hard look at what they ban out next time. You can see the, maybe not shocked, but certainly disappointed faces of World Elite Academy as they comprehend what just happened that last game. Big performance by Edward Gaming. Academy showed some flashes of brilliance, but in the end, didn't quite amount to anything. So we'll see if they can do it game number 2, see if they can pick it back up off the floor. If not, they will continue their slide. There's not really much places to go further down than they are. They are sitting in 8th. However, Edward Gaming wanting to catch back up as far as they can in the standings, and we'll see where they go in the next game. We'll be on a brief break, guys, when we return. Last game of the night, last set of the night, of course, Edward Gaming and World Elite Academy. Don't go anywhere because you're watching the LPL in English.
Contact through to Tinson, and he's actually in the audience today. So the game is where's the giant white guy in the crowd?
Yeah, and I've been unable to locate him so far. We'll see if that does change as they pan over one more time.
I told him to bring a sign.
I did tell him, yeah, you did tell him that. Maybe he listened to you, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Hard to get through on the internet sometimes, but crowded. But hey, what we're really here for, of course, that's always fun stuff too, but we get to see World Elite Academy now taking on Edward Gaming, and they have not had the best time of late, splitting it with StarHorn recently, which is probably one of the better results they've had in a while, but they are really struggling this split.
Yeah, last place team, effectively against the second place team. We are starting the lineup, so it is going to be the Korean top, Khan.
Also known as Handbelong.
I was gonna say I can never say his former name just because
like
it's so ridiculous.
Or something. It's what it's how I remember it mnemonically.
Baloney. In the jungle is gonna be Soest, formerly known as Love ANG. He was there was a lot of hype. I know we say this every single time, but there was a lot of hype about World Elite Academy, that they were going to be the go-to team for LPL, that they're going to smash people. They were better than World Elite at a certain.
范冰冰健康美丽课堂，每天动一动，每天大声笑，每天睡个饱。还有天窝蜂蜜柚子茶，蜂蜜带来健康，柚子带来美丽，健康美丽喝洒哟。天窝蜂蜜柚子茶。
好的，观众，欢迎回到现场，看一下刚才的那场比赛，老干爹和 IG 的较量，最终老干爹是获得了比赛的胜利。对，
成功把比分扳回了1比1平。
对，这样的话也是获得了至关重要的一分。
IG 又是被强行1比1，这样的话，他的联赛胜率还是稳定在5%。
哎，确实非常的稳定。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LPL English broadcast brought to you. I guess it's brought to you as well sometimes.
The actual split itself. In the playoffs, they bumped up across to first, so they were first in the spring split of 2014, which means that they have already an invitation to the World qualifiers. If they finish first again, they are automatically qualified for Worlds.
Of course, the paved road to Worlds has a few stumbling blocks along it. Young Glory took them out 2-0 the last time they met, so definitely on the up and up, that team, but Edward Gaming has had a couple of problems. This is a newer team, of course, but they have been really, really dominant, and of course, we will be getting into the lineup. That's FCZF. On support, he plays quite a lot of different things, did do the Zillion, as well as the Cow and Braum, and he has been certainly a pretty big up player on this team, pretty impactful player, but he's not the only one. Joining him in the bot lane is, of course, going to be Mei, who is... He's the guy that looked at Wei Xiao and said, yeah, I'm going to beat that dude.
He's the Dade to Wei Xiao's Faker.
Oh, we're going Korean on this one. No Korean players on this particular roster, though.
Yeah, it's something unique. Like in the mid lane, it's going to be little U. U stands for unstoppable. And I honestly, a lot of people say, you know...
Of course, esports heaven and games in Asia on PiraTechnics. We've been on quite a break, huh, Froskurinn? It's enough time to let the brain completely evaporate.
My brain evaporated watching that Doombot game. I don't know if you stuck around for that or if you were making coffee.
I was doing both. I was multitasking in a way. That was an interesting turn of events, and I'm sure the casters certainly enjoyed it. I know Wawa did. It's one in the middle for those of you who aren't entirely familiar with our Chinese counterparts.
Wawa is the one with the Bono sense of style. He's always wearing, typically sunglasses, actually, doesn't have them on this time around. And he's always got very, I think the only word is gaudy. A very gaudy wardrobe.
One of the very few times that word's appropriate, yes.
He's like a rock star.
He kind of is. It's all for the children.
Speaking of rock stars, when it pans over the crowd, we're playing a game as the casters. We give our shout-outs all the time to Games in Asia, Esports Heaven, obviously, for giving us the platform to cast. It's a lot of fun to be casting LPL and be casting with you guys, especially this audience, I think, is really high class as far as Twitch audiences go. Garvey, though, is a huge influence for everything that the stream has become, our Twitch content period. Soas was on that Pharma roster, big Lee Sin player. You didn't see Lee Sin in his last pickups. He's been kind of branching out mid lane. Mickey God, also from Korea, found a lot of success on those assassins. And it was funny, when they first brought over Mickey God, he's well known for his Lee Sin mid, and they're like, oh, he plays Lee Sin mid. We can put him in the jungle because that's exactly how that works. Did not work very well. They moved him over to the mid lane spot, kicked out their former mid laner, Xie. SMLZ, kind of the big name for World Elite Academy, the hand-picked protege by Wei Xiao. So this guy is the real deal. Unfortunately, has not found a lot of success, but this team in general hasn't. And then following it up on the support spot is going to be their brand new support captain and shot caller, Yushe. And by brand new, I mean this season, or excuse me, this split.
A lot of responsibility to be put on someone who's new too, and he has had to bear kind of the brunt of Academy's performance throughout a lot of it as well. And they're up against a very tough opponent right now in Edward Gaming. We'll get to see them in just a second. But these are guys that are poised to, if not take the top, certainly finish at least second place.
Oh, yes. They finished second last split. As far as second, like, during the